Hello and welcome. So, what do you do when you're down the goddamn music? Tell you what you do. You finish your amazing prog rock song. Anyways, welcome to Horror Dork. I'm Golden.
I'm Mr. Sir.
And I'm Anthony.
Today we are talking about 2024's Destroy All Neighbors,
was like,
currently
we'll get
streaming on Shudder, starring Alex Winter.
Starring Alex Winter. And it was
Jonah Ray.
Jonah
Ray.
It's like
There's John Daly's in this movie. He's the guy that's on the YouTube videos, the instructional videos.
It's one
That
secret.
was probably
wasn't it?
That was my other than the incredible effects in this movie. That was my favorite part. That's the stuff I found funniest was John Daly's the prog rock guy YouTube video little segments. Like, so you've killed, so you need to dispose of a body.
That would only take 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's funny.
I didn't know if you.
He's like, yeah, how great.
You wanted to get into first with the movie.
Well, let's just talk about how. First off, just right off the bat, what if you liked it or didn't like it?
Oh yeah, I like this movie. It has a really fun vibe to it. It very evocative of Evil Dead. Actually, it feels like a spiritual successor to like Alex Winter's directorial debut, Freaked, with the crazy effects and everything, and this movie, and a healthy dose of Dead Alive as well.
Yeah, it definitely shows that he's most comfortable in the 80s. Alex Winter loves the 80s. I mean, it's if we're gonna be honest, it's where he was still relevant. Like, I mean, I love him, and I love Bill and Ted movies and all that stuff.
Actually,
I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just saying
he's become quite a documentary filmmaker. I watched his Napster documentary. It was really good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't tend to get into many documentaries.
Yeah, he does a lot of directing stuff now, less acting.
Well, I mean, when you have no way to rival your on-screen co-star.
I don't
like. There's no chance. You're like, well, I'm going to become a director now because, well, I can't.
I think he was. I don't think he was doing acting more as like means to an end. He from interviews that I've heard of him and heard him talking about his career and stuff. It sounded like he was more interested in the creative side of things. Nice. Like the Idiot Box was his MTV show, which was also like sort of like a precursor to Freaked. It was like kind of like the testing grounds for something like that, where they did have like crazy segments, and it felt more like Adult Swim before Adult Swim kind of stuff. But
was it like Liquid Television?
Which that was sort of yeah, Adult Swim before Adult Swim, yeah, Liquid Television. Elon Flux, man, that I'll never forget Max. That. Yeah, the Max scarred me forever. I loved it though. It was like something that I know I didn't understand when I was watching it, but I was like glued to it. It was just so weird and messed up. But yeah, Destroy All Neighbors. I really enjoyed this movie. What did you think about it, Anthony?
I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, I wasn't like crazy about it. I like the effects. It's I don't know if you want to call it. I'm sure it's been classified as a splatter movie. Yes, this is what Golden would consider a slow burn, and the rest of the world would say, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Someone's not murdered before the credits roll. It's just so slow for me.
Vlad is not a character that is a slow burn. No. Like as soon as that, it's just chaos.
So, but the movie feels a little thin.
Aside
from everything else, like, but it's fun. Like, it's super fun.
Like, I can't argue with that on the plot. The plot itself is really thin. Like, what saves this movie are the characters and the effects and everything. I think that really saves it. The music is kind of cool. that kind of stuff isn't my thing, but it's obviously Jonah Ray's passion, and he put that into the movie.
Yeah, I'm not a prog rock person either.
No,
I'm not quite the what was the one, how the one character feels about prog rock and fires him over it, but
oh yeah,
I'm not like that much of a
Thomas
hatred
Lennon.
for it, but but also I was never like, oh man, I can't wait to hear how this prog rock thing.
He liked it. The guy, his client was.
That's the guy that
not like client came out and said this shit sucks.
Caleb Bang Jansen. Like I'm not that much of a hatred. Bang. Like Caleb Bang Jansen. Make sure it's bang. You make sure you add bang. Damn it.
So this movie has like a trope, like a horror trope that is like one of my deepest fears to happen to me, where somebody inserts themselves into your life and you can't get rid of them, and then they like make your life a living hell and make people think that you're crazy when you know you're not. I like Ma. This is like a Vlad is like this a guy. It's Alex Winter in like crazy prosthetics. He looks like an ogre. He looks like he crawled out from under a bridge. He's got this thick Russian accent. It's a very funny character. I thought, and he listens to like hard techno, and he's like cranking it in his apartment at all hours while Jonah Ray's trying to work on his wimpy little prog rock album.
And his living room furniture
that's never going to be finished.
And his living room furniture consists of just a workout bench. He's one of them.
So the basic plot is Jonah Ray's in his apartment working on his album. His life sucks. It's the same thing over and over and over again. And one day he gets a new neighbor named Vlad, played by Alex Winter, in like this crazy costume. And it's not just the building super is always asking him to help her with maintenance stuff.
The elderly hippie lady.
Yes. Yep. And she's always trying to get him to come to her apartment. She's got something for him, and he's always blowing her off.
She got something for his album, and they do a really good job at leaning into the feel like it's one of those old women that doesn't really understand what you're doing.
Right? Yeah.
Thinks that every video game system is a Nintendo kind of thing. So like it makes sense that he's like, I'm not coming to your house, to your apartment,
big grandma,
for you to give me something like like your clay recorder or something like that. And they do a really good job, I think, at making it feel that way, like she's clueless about what he's doing, and he's trying to be. And it's definitely the character trope is the pushover.
Yeah,
guy. And this movie, the movie definitely been done so many times in movies where it's the pushover guy finally breaks, like that something breaks him, and then it's just like this downward spiral,
right?
Of you're no longer a pushover and watches everything goes fucking wrong for you.
And then the other tenant is elderly. Well, he's an older black guy, and he's got a pet pig. And he's always complaining about him working on his music at all hours of the night and complaining about it. So
he's Pig Man.
And he gets to work, and there's a homeless guy that's always bugging him to what does he got? Croissant?
Yeah. Like, hey, croissant man, where's my croissant, man? Remember you had me that croissant once?
Like going on what you said about his life sucking. It's not so much that his life sucks, it's that
he put himself in this position. Like it's a prison that he's made himself.
Okay. Yeah. So he's gotten no, it's okay. But he's just gotten comfortable, like just getting by.
Yeah.
Not putting effort into anything.
Right.
Not putting effort in, not really putting any effort into his song. He just kind of keeps remixing it.
I take offense to that. He made a bridge for the bridge, and then he had to make another bridge for the bridge for the bridge. He's clearly putting effort.
Well, that's prog rock, dude. Get educated.
Just get a hot lick.
But yeah, he's not putting effort in his relationship. He's not putting effort in his job. He's just existing.
Yeah, he's just showing up.
He doesn't put effort into saying no when he doesn't want to do what the landlord asked him to do for free.
Yeah, because wasn't he like running late
She's
for
trying
work
to save money,
and then she like kept asking him just 1 more thing, and it was like what, like an hour later, and he's finally like, I gotta go.
But he had already like slept in because he was working all night on his album. That's not like that's the other thing. He's
literally sitting in front of his computer staring.
Yeah, he's not paying attention to his girlfriend. He's working on this never-ending album that is he's just spinning the wheels on.
So I brought that up for a specific reason because I feel like that's super relatable to most of us in life. Like we have a job we don't like, and we just get this point in life where a lot of people kind of just give up and exist.
You want to do creative things, but you just don't feel like you have the time
or anything. It doesn't have to be creative
or effort.
You know, maybe you want to go skydiving and be whatever, but it doesn't. You just don't do it because you're just stuck in this bubble that you've created for yourself, like you were saying.
Yeah. Sometimes you want to go to Big Bear.
What's Big Bear?
But you have to bring like your board games with you. Big Bear.
We don't know what fucking Big Bear is. You gotta.
Nobody knows what
Big Bear is.
I don't know what Big Bear is.
It's the story that his girlfriend talks about.
Oh.
That is like a 3-hour-long story that he's like,
dude.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you
referencing
something important to the movie that like came up in the third act. Chekhov Big Bear story.
I'm sorry, Golden.
It was Chekhov's Big Bear story.
I'm gonna get yelled at after this podcast now.
Like, are you guys doing a bit? Like, how do you not know what Big Bear is?
I don't remember. I didn't remember.
That was if you remember, that was the story that.
Yes, I got you now.
Yeah.
He hated that she would
get
tell.
it. It's a movie reference
Of the movie we're talking
I've
about.
watched this movie 3 times now.
So what disrupts this whole like running on a fucking track is Vlad moving in, and Vlad just doesn't care. Vlad lives his own life by his own rules. He doesn't seemingly have a job.
Well, do you think that Vlad doesn't care, or do you think Vlad like wants to just challenge this guy because he thinks he can help him?
I think he challenges him because he thinks he's a huge.
I think he's like trying to help him when he's challenging him, though, like, in his own weird way. Not that he actually is.
I think that's up for interpretation because what happens and doesn't happen in this movie is very wishy-washy. Like what's real and what isn't. What motivates somebody and what isn't motivating them. Like in that sense, the movie is. It's done on purpose that way. I think, but I do wish it was like a little more black and white.
Well, I feel like it's there because, like, the whole idea is that he needs to become more assertive and take action in his life. And every time he does a quality like that, instead of Vlad just tearing him down, and this is before everything happens, with the twists and stuff. But it's like when he goes over into the apartment, when he starts standing up for himself, Vlad's like encouraging him instead of just like beating him down, being like, you're nothing, blah, 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 blah. Like a way to like get him to keep continuing. And it works because he's actually like taking more and more action.
See, I kind of took it as he saw that he struck a nerve and he was antagonizing him more.
But I feel like, and this is all interpretive. So
and I mean, he becomes like the final boss at the end of the movie and everything.
But then again, I feel like that was one last challenge, whether or not it was all in the main character's head or not. But
right,
because he's chilling with the ghost at the end, like Happy Gilmore style.
I know, I know, and I can't disagree with you. I just wasn't sure if how much of that was Vlad actually wanting to befriend him, or Vlad seeing that he was a little worm and he could fuck with him as much as he wanted to.
I feel like Vlad is supposed to be like the complete opposite of Jonah Ray's character. So I don't even know if it's that he wants to help him or anything like that. I feel like it's just everything that Vlad does is for his own enjoyment and entertainment.
You don't think
if it does help the main character, then he's okay with it. He doesn't want to not help him. I think it's more like, hey, I can have.
You don't think he reminds him of his little cousin that he tried to help but he couldn't, and that cousin ended up dying?
Is this a Big Bear?
Oh, that's to him in the room.
I know. I'm just saying. No, I honestly like. I think that Vlad is a character of just pure anything that he can do to make himself enjoy the moment. Like complete and pure it. Like that's what he is. And like it yes, it ends up helping the main character, but I don't think Vlad cares either way if he's helping him or not. He's just enjoying the fucking ride.
Right.
Like that's why there's times where it seems like he's being like a complete asshole to him and doing things. And I think everything he's doing is just because he enjoys it. And if it has a positive effect, good. If it doesn't, who cares?
So
I'm Vlad.
What sets him off on messing with Jonah Ray so much is instead of Jonah Ray knocking on his door and asking him to turn down his music, he calls the cops on him. And that pisses Vlad off. And
well, he does a little tap on the wall first, like the tiniest
his hand, like a savage. I love that. I love that too. That everybody treats Jonah Ray's character like he's a complete and utter asshole for banging on the wall. Like everyone does. Like the landlady, like everybody's like, you knocked on the wall with your hand like a savage. Like everybody treats him like he's the world's biggest asshole for doing that. Barely like you could barely even hear this tap on the wall, and everybody's like, I can't believe you would do that.
Then he shows up he comes home from work and Vlad is there having tea with his girlfriend.
After he hawked a loogie on his door.
He did hawk a loogie on his door.
That's got to be assault, right?
On the peeper hole.
I just like the cops are like acting like they've never heard the expression hawk a loogie. They're just like, a what? A loogie? Was this the loogie incident?
So I just want to
go. What about the Golden character?
Was there a bald guy with a beard?
It wasn't bald, but it's like if you had long hair.
So, in fact, you're talking about the homeless guy?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch! I do love croissants, though. That guy was a tinfoil hat.
And he had the same, when he was younger, he had the same glasses you used to have.
Son of a bitch.
Those little circle.
Those circle ones. That was one hot lick.
Remember the picture of Golden in the Easter Bunny costume from...
First of all, you superimposed me in
I made that one.
Nightmare. I was not in the Pink Nightmare as a child. I just looked like I was.
Did you know that that you're in Iron Man and Far From Home? He's the box of scraps guy.
Oh yeah,
that Stan yells at.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Ralphie is the scientist guy that is.
I thought you meant Obadiah.
Tony Stark built in
a
cave with a box of scraps.
I thought you meant
that's Ralphie.
I thought you were calling me Obadiah.
Going for someone that's like macho. It's like, yeah, this is what they're talking about.
I thought you were talking about Obadiah.
No, it's like no. It's talking about Ralphie, the guy he's dressing down in that scene.
I do like
he's the guy that Jake Gyllenhaal works with in Far From Home.
I do like that. Anybody that's seen the show Sweet Tooth on Netflix?
No.
I look just like the main bad guy.
Like, kind of, yeah. I can see it now.
Like I went and bought because they were cheap, but I bought like round red sunglasses.
Did you really?
And I put them on. I'm like, holy shit! It was part of it.
What's that show on HBO? It's like 30 coins or something. The one with Paul Giamatti with a beard.
Taxi Stories.
Every time I scroll by, I'm like, that kind of looks like Golden with
God, I miss those days.
Paul Giamatti with a beard.
It's been a while since we watched a movie for the episode, and I got a text from Mr. Sir going, "Hey, you're in this movie." And I'm like, God damn it! I knew as soon as I hit play, I'm gonna see some like really round guy with a beard and go, "Yeah,
guy with a beard."
I lost my glasses.
Some hillbilly looking dude.
Oh God!
So just to fast forward in the movie, just a hair. It's reached a fever point with Jonah. Vlad is just blasting techno music out of his apartment. His girlfriend has
was
left
it
for
techno or was it tech? Yes,
I think it was more, honestly, it was more like house music. But anyways, Jonah Ray goes over there to confront him, to tell him to turn it down. And Vlad is not being physical with him, but he is like antagonizing him big time. And what happens is he slips on, what is it, like some Chinese food or something?
Was it Chinese food or was it like sauerkraut or?
Yeah, it was he slips on his dinner and falls backwards onto his weight bench.
Chicken or something, right?
Might have been some kind of
slipped
food.
on food and it gets impaled on his
super realistic.
Vlad impaled on his exercise equipment.
Yeah, on the weight bar.
Yes.
Because the weights slide off and it goes sideways.
And,
then he gets back in, but he's not even putting it himself. He's like putting it in the bar.
Is that not how it works?
And I can't remember exactly how it happens, but then he gets his head cut off.
Oh, he pulls on something that causes a cinder block that was suspended.
Right, like that's right. Yeah. Knocks the head off.
Because he clearly was preparing for his role in Rocky IV. Like it looked like his workout regimen reminded me of Rocky's in Rocky IV, where it was just like where he could find. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna put on a rope and I'm gonna lift it."
Yeah, but then they show Dolph Lundgren's and he's in like some sort of like future RoboCop, fucking Terminator.
I was about to be like, oh, speaking of Rocky, or I was gonna say Rambo 3, but that's for the next podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dog will hunt.
Happy birthday, Polly. I love that robot. The robot back in Rocky IV.
Rocky IV was my favorite Rocky movie.
So
I love Dolph Lundgren.
Jonah Ray is then trying to dispose of the body, and he looks up the prog rock guy that he's been looking up videos of. The whole movie has a video on how to dispose of a body.
But it's one of those where he gives you the pertinent information just a little too late. Where it's like, yeah, you're going to want to get some hydrochloric acid in a bathtub. Then you see like Jonah Ray get all that stuff, get ready to do it. And then he's like, of course, that's going to take about 3 weeks. And he's like, oh. My favorite.
Just finished the video, dude, after like the third time.
Right. I think
it was a good bit.
My favorite interaction and bit in this entire movie, though, was when he tries to sneak the body into the incinerator building, and like the argument with the security guard.
With Kumail,
like it was
by Kumail Nanjiani.
It was just like, to me, like the comedic beats and everything were just perfect. Like it was
that was very funny. It felt like they were honestly probably just riffing. They got Kumail for a day, and they wanted to.
It was a very Kumail joke.
Yeah.
I just love the ending too, where he's like, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you," and he's like, then the guy goes to the security phone. He goes, "Oh, you letting me in?" He goes, "Oh, did our back and forth fuck yous give you that impression?"
I'm calling the police. Like,
it was so funny.
And he hits instead of putting it in reverse, he just puts that on the gas and smashes the thing.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
Yeah,
it was really I rewound it and then I just watched it again because I was laughing so hard.
I like how Vlad's intestines become sentient throughout
the
movie
so
at multiple points.
So what happens then is, instead of him being rid of Vlad is now in his head and talking to him through his corpse. And it's not quite clear how much of this is Jonah Ray being crazy and how much is Vlad actually body parts becoming alive, because they manipulate things. Things happen in this movie where if his body parts weren't moving around, I don't think it would be possible.
If his head wasn't just popping all over the place, how the hell did he call the cops?
Right. You know? Exactly. Like... Yeah, so
when the neighbor comes in at the end, the elderly neighbor.
Yeah, he sees those guys.
He sees them.
Yeah, he sees the guys.
But maybe it was just their body parts.
I mean, yeah, wouldn't you freak out if you just saw a severed head of your other neighbor just sitting there?
It would depend on the neighbor.
Oh, yeah. I mean, first of all, when Vlad's head was still attached to his body, it was startling. Like before he was dead, just his facial prosthetics was already a startling look. So now if it's just severed, I feel like
Jonah Ray has not changed his clothes.
Reaction when you see Vlad's face for the first time, he's in all that perspective, and it takes you back, is like what we deal with every Sunday the first time Golden walks through the door.
It's true.
All right.
Lobster slides.
I'm already getting in trouble anyway, so.
You're like, I might as well, I'm going all in. Golden's an ugly hillbilly.
So as the movie progresses, he is accidentally picking off all these people that he's encountered throughout the movie. Like first it's the unhoused guy. He runs him over with his van. Backs over him with his van. Then he who's next? The landlady. Because he didn't help her with the fuse box, she gets fried. And she
tried to do his wiggle trick.
And from there he sees that she's wearing a vest of some prog rock band that he's like a gigantic fan of, and he's like, oh yeah, the
mortician's like, oh, she was clear, or EMT, whoever it was like, oh man, she was really into prog rock.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
So then he finds out that can't remember exactly why they need to get her body, but they need something that she has. And they go, and then she's also alive, and they ding. That puppet is my favorite one. The landlady smoking skeleton.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Puppet. It's really funny. That thing was Golden. When that thing started talking, I was cracking up.
If those swords touch, does the universe implode?
First of all, it's a sword and a havoc staff.
No, I mean the one on your shirt and the one on your arm.
Oh, maybe. I think this is a machete.
Chainsaw.
That's a machete.
Oh.
It's Jason.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought it was.
I thought.
No, it's my Jason He-Man mashup.
And it looked like Ash.
So it's Jason.
Is that Jason X?
I don't fucking.
No,
it's
Jason from Part 4.
Yeah.
From here, it looks like he's got that metal mask.
Jason X is a wonderful movie. It's probably the best in the series.
And
I can't wait for us to discuss that when we get to the Friday the 13th series.
Oh no! His neighbor gets killed first because he walks in on Vlad, Jonah, and the homeless guy all partying, drinking. Because at this point he's kind of come with.
Whoa! Let's keep it PG.
Well, because we don't want to.
And now I don't know what I was fucking talking about.
We don't want to skip over the fact too that the dying guy's last words, the homeless guy's last words, were "that's one hot lick," and then you're like, "Oh, you mean you're my idol this whole time?" The homeless guy was my idol that I watch on these YouTube shows. You were
talking about the neighbor coming into the apartment.
Yeah.
Well, they were partying.
And.
Apparently coming.
Well, Jonah Ray he's just kind of accepted his situation and is just like, whatever. I'm just gonna hang out with these guys and listen to music and whatever. If it's in my head, it's in my head. But apparently not, because his neighbor walks in, he gets startled, and then he accidentally gets a bunch of knives in his back and dies. So now it's and the cops come, and there's no body. So
stop it there, because when it gets to the radio station, it gets great.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil the ending, because the ending is crazy. You should watch this movie.
Golden shows up in the movie. They call him Big Bear because he's furry.
He's
just in Speedos recording.
That's
not what rock and roll is all about. I do think it's funny though, like. Because all the people that he kills,
like that kind of.
That's all I thought of.
I was thinking
that's what that means.
I know
that's what that is.
There is a meaning for bear for that. Yes, I was just thinking.
You are like a little.
Earlier.
Are you looking for a cub?
An otter. I do think it's funny too, though, because like if you look at it, all of his neighbors that die, all of them serve a purpose for him getting his album done.
Right.
Except the pig man. that they call the guy that has the pig, who's apparently the only reason he had to die was so that his pet could get rid of the evidence.
That's right.
Like,
because piggies ever.
Because even when they're like going, oh, they're like, oh, well, I could play this and I could play this, and he's like, he says something stupid that they're like.
It was so funny because you see the size of the pig and it's like a house pig. It's not like a giant monster.
It's definitely a tea kettle pig.
It ate big as a house.
3 bodies.
Yeah.
Just complete, like bones, teeth, hair,
blood, all that stuff.
All of it just. And then the girlfriend looks like she's crazy.
I wonder where it did its business.
Probably.
Yeah, that must have been.
They said there was. They said that's all they found was
holes, man.
No, because the police said that all they found in the room was
we needed exorcism.
Was pig poop. They mentioned it because that's how you know the pig ate him. Like, oh, yeah, because apparently he was just eating and pooping like it was a complete conveyor belt. Like, so
he didn't poop out the bones at that point.
He might have. You don't know.
Well, then
they weren't a very good police force. Let's be honest.
There's bones in.
They were great.
They didn't even go check Vlad's apartment. Like,
no.
He's like, if you want, you come over. We have look. I give you, and the best part, like, I think it's funny too because they're in. Like, so he apparently went over to
just doing a French accent.
I don't know. That's where my brain's going right now.
Listen,
I just think it's funny, like
elderly Dracula.
Ah, mate, come on over.
What wasn't that like an elderly Dracula?
It might have been like, oh, hello. Speaking of, it's the.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know. I think
I got a Dracula feeling from it. It was like Eastern European.
I was kind of doing Drac from Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, I don't say blah blah blah.
Yeah, man, sort of what I was doing.
Blah blah blah.
Oh no.
No, it definitely it leads a lot to interpretation, obviously, of how much of that was real, how much of it was just he had a complete mental breakdown. Would anybody actually want to give an award to a prog rock song?
It's probably one of the most unbelievable parts.
That's the most unbelievable part of the whole movie is that he was like that everybody was loved his song, and that his boss and the other guy were like taking the award for him, and then he's like, getting awards, that's what rock and roll is all about. Which was the ongoing joke, was like every time his boss would get upset about what Bang was doing, he'd always be like, that's drugs and sex. That's not what rock and roll's about. And we do get to see Alex Winter without prosthetics playing another
he's
the lawyer, the public attorney.
Yeah, he's the public defender. He's like, oh, my wife's going to be so happy I actually won. Because they didn't find any evidence because the pig ate all of it.
Yeah.
He just pooped everywhere.
Yeah, this movie I thought it was really fun. It's a horror comedy for sure. Definitely, it's not scary, but it's got like a lot of horror elements. There's good effects, mostly practical. There's some goofy CGI shit in it too, but all movies of a certain budget have that kind of stuff in it. But they do try to do a lot of good practical effects, and it does harken back to like Evil Dead 2 and Dead Alive.
Well, yeah, it's over the top gore. It's the splatter.
It's
comedic. So
the movie I felt that it kind of shared a vibe with is Deathgasm.
Okay.
From 2015.
Yeah. It was like the black metal horror movie.
I mean,
where the kid finds a book with satanic rituals, and he uses them as lyrics and summons a bunch of demons.
I mean, everybody knows that rock music can summon the devil.
Yeah, I got a real High School Musical vibe out of it.
High School, he's like, nothing can stop the Wildcats.
Pitch Perfect.
Oh, Pitch Perfect. Tell me.
Because the music.
Wildcats, bring it down. I mean, High School Musical also has music.
Yeah, that's why I got both of them.
Man,
like
that's
if you combine them into a movie and
I
put
mean,
some
definitely.
more in it.
Like
Guys
you're watching
only watch Pitch Perfect. I'm getting a lot of Pitch Perfect vibes for this.
You can really like you can play this at the exact same time as you can play this at the exact same time as My Fair Lady, and like the storyline matches up perfectly.
Does it?
I don't fucking like. I never watched My Fair
Oh,
Lady.
bullshit.
I've never watched
Get
My
out
Fair
of here.
Lady.
Bullshit.
That's a new project. Trying to find albums that sync up with My Fair Lady perfectly.
Yeah, I was like, everybody does it with Dark Side of the Moon and Wizard of Oz, but is that the one? Is that the matchup? It's something like that.
Yeah, you have it
I
right.
don't. I don't.
Yeah,
Weird Al's even worse. Really seems to like match up.
Stop. Oh.
Now that's what I call Country 23. Perfectly lines up with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's crazy.
Country 23.
And now that's what we call Country 23.
Oh.
Speaking
I was trying to make it like so it wasn't even one album.
I thought about a Now CD.
Exactly. That's the whole point. I'm trying to bring it. God.
Speaking of Texas Chainsaw
I can't explain
Massacre
comedy
2,
to
we're
you.
going to be talking about that next.
Look at that segment.
So we're going to be wrapping up our Destroy All Neighbors talk right now. Follow us on Facebook.
Follow us at Walmart.
Follow us on Facebook. Go on follow us on Blue Sky at Horror Dork. Instagram at Horror Dork, YouTube, all that good stuff. Leave us a comment, rate and review. Love to hear from you.
Check out Dingus Day feature film page on Facebook
for Golden's movie. We got the last episode. We got a big plug on that, so make sure you check that out and get all the info for that, or go to the Dingus Day movie for more. Anything else? Watch Destroy All Neighbors on Shudder.
I think we just hit him over the head with a hammer. So
okay, all right. So until next time with Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. I'm Mr. Sir.
I'm Golden,
and I'm also Golden.
Have a good one. Bye.